Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Relics of Hyrule. Fine.
What's the matter? You can't stand the sight of a strong Nord woman?
I'm gonna probably disappearing act.
I've got a recipe for venison stew that I want to try out. Will you have venison anytime soon?
Certainly. I'll be sure to bring some back for you the next time I go hunting.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you, no, even if you are my elder.
Look, you already have been told you're not allowed here. Turn around and go back the way you came.
We're causing no trouble. All we ask is to look for her.
I don't care what you're doing. After what happened, you're lucky I don't toss you in jail. Now get lost.
We will be back. This is not over.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside.
You there. We're looking for someone in Whiterun. A woman. She's likely... We are not welcome here in Whiterun. So we will be in Relics to learn it.
What is it, Argo?
He's so super blind.
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's trade.
Is she back in the castle?
Hey, what?
Huh?
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword. So I practice with my fists.
Oh, please, no.
Did you slip out again last night for a drink at the Banner?
Excellent. You've done us a great service.
Did you?
Here is your
Yes,
reward.
I went out for a pint or two. What of it?
Oh, there you are.
Visits to the tavern will make you an easy
I
target.
serve
when
Jarl
anyone assassinates.
Balgruff as
You should
steward.
have told me first.
Damn it, woman, I'm the Jarl of
It's
Whiterun.
Dragon's Reach.
I won't what is it that you need?
It would never
Now,
stop
if you
me.
don't mind, I've got a city.
It's watching an adventure just come up with clean pay. Oh. Now, the book that we found in Riverwood made mention of Halted Stream Camp. Well, not Halted Stream Camp, Silent Moon's Camp. It's actually a handful of things that we can do in the Whiterun Hold that have to do with the mod. Why did you do this one?
I've reshaped this land, which is mine.
Potions. We should try Arcadia's culinary.
Those gold apples you sold me the other day were delicious. Aren't they?
Come to chat with an old
Traders bring them up from the school.
I'm sure you can charge double for those biscuits.
Wait, what did Dr.
What is it, Argonian?
Did I put the other items I made? No, I did not. course I could go on the other Ligonian. Foraging. Forge. Warriors. Foraging. Relics cowardice. Small mass paralysis. Sithor. Why do I keep finding so many stamps? Have a shovel. Makes no sense. Oh. Oh.
Yeah. You open.
Found the soul stamp for the rebel. Doesn't seem to do much. If I concentrate hard enough, I can get the fire some spark, but they don't seem to do any more damage than raindrops. I picture any mage using this would either be instantly killed, or means to sleep on sheer boredom.
I ain't gonna be beaten by the likes of you. Will you? Take this!
Someone there?
Now get to my way!
Yep, the only thing in here was the roar stick. There's the Dwarven sword, then the 13 versus 14. This, get rid of this, get rid of this. This. If I'm right, somewhere around here is an entrance to this trapdoor. Oh, time to enter the Forgotten Cavern.
And what might you? We're one of the same kind, you and I. I'm glad to have met you.
Linton's notes. They. Who are they? In my research, I have often come across this phenomenon with no antecedent. Some simply mention them, refer to them as ghosts with heads of yellow light. Faces are described as insect-like, and they wear golden claws and carry books and curious similar objects. Yet I found no alert concerning what the way these objects of theirs are used, at least in the books, in fair condition for those I have been able to restore. Or that they appear in orbs of light and do little else but watch. Stories tell of them being seen in fields, watching from afar, or orbs of light passing overhead. Stories suggest that they are staying following civilizations or waiting for civilization to fall, and they are only found in dying lands. They never attack, they only watch. But why? Why do they watch? Are they in their orbs of light? Inflated a fancy? Are they products of hilarious minds? Normally, I would not bother with such trifles, but they are referred to so often ancient lore and legends about Hyrule that I have to admit they are becoming a model of such. Were they, and more importantly, do they truly exist? Stone of Agony. Stone of Agony by Valento Volshkovic. Studies of unearthed legends of a small unassuming stone that can be used to grant a spell that can detect both living beings and the undead. The Stone of Agony was apparently once used to find treasures, but the spell was somehow doctored during a terrible war so that battle mages could use it to find enemies and allies. Since the war was mostly won against the living dead, a spell that could distinguish between mortals and the undead was invaluable. In fact, the spell was recorded but been used to determine if an ally was transformed into a zombie via part of the light. Sources, as with many of my studies, were dumb or legends. I have gleaned very little information on the Stone of Agony. The above paragraph is the result of years of research and hundreds of texts. Very few mention war of the dead, and those that mention the war very rarely mention the Stone of Agony. The choice to publish this information was made after finding no further information year after year despite my best efforts.
Need something?
Relics. An adventure deep below, where the stone walls creep and no wind blow, deep to kindlings of the night, to find a blue fragment of the light. An adventure deep below, underground and under snow, deep to Arkanthams, the shaken sea, to find the lost blue Pickery. Their adventure deep below, where the melt wicks and boulders glow, deep to Blackridge, the door of success, to find roads of dark regrets. Their adventure deep below, to the roots where no more mountains grow, deep to Morwoodishall, the Nord's mistake, the god of mischief, plots and waits, stretch far and wide over hill and stream, delve deep into ruins, halls and barrows, search in shadows, catacombs and layers, and find the fragments of the changing tides. Tome of the Fierce Day. Tome of the Face Dirty by Nyoka Teflis. If you want to play with me, these words have plagued more minds than may believe. I write this book in its record of history, but also as a warning. Therefore, before I go further, let me say this. Do not venture into Morwoodishall and southern Skyrim. The ruins of the ancient Nords had a reputation of being decidedly unsettling. The corpses of men are not fully dead. They are sleeping instead. The Draugr worship the dragons as gods, and most Draugr ruins are more crypts than cities. Some believe the Draugr are mummified to make the maids look like their gods. Some believe the Draugr are mummified, transported through passing years. Dragon priests were given priority in the finest burials, making many Draugr crypts elaborate coffins for these. The finest ranking masters of ancient magic masks were made and given to these priests, who still wear them. One priest forever found his mask and started a sect of Draugr that started worshipping dragons. That stopped worshipping dragons and began worshipping the mask. The mask in question is called Majora's Mask. Alien myths mention a lost hero who fell entering the kingdom between worlds, where his fate was manipulated by the lonely imp who stole the mask. Even then, the mask was a legend, a relic of an ancient tribe, used in rituals that demarches, curses, and torture. These rituals had an unintended consequence. They tried to own themselves and sacrifice themselves to the mask, singing its praises as though it were God. But the mask was not God. It was a parasite, feeding on jealousy, envy, and longing for the lives of others. For decades and centuries, the mask devoured memories of love and loss, birth and death, joy and sorrow. Its appetite was never sated. The tribe began to live in fear of the mask and its judgment. The rituals once performed for the mask were performed for the mask. The troubles caused by Majora's Mask were so great that the tribe sealed the mask in shell forever, preventing its misuse. So the tribe disappeared, and the legends died with them. Wandering salesmen unaware of the true nature of the mask went to great lengths to find the mask. Hearing no whispers of its power and history, the mask carried misfortune with it, and sought only to spread suffering and consume everything. It let itself be stolen by a lonely imp, puppet through whom it sought destruction and mischief and fear. Its power had grown so great that the moon itself was brought from its orbit, set to plummet to the ground. It's say that the lost hero restored balance to the world by fighting the mask, cleansing it of its evil power. It's also say that the mask uses power to give the hero a mighty sword to make the fight more balanced. As though all wanted to do his play, following his triumph, he returned to wandering Tamara, never to return to his home. Some go further, claiming that Tamara was not a physical place, but instead gate to the afterlife, and that the tribe assumed Majora's Mask is the space between worlds. And the mask and the sword that led to its demise came to reside in which all is unknown. They have prophesied that somehow a foolish and powerful conjurer opened the portal to Tamara, much in the same way that we can open past the oblivion and find the mask, perhaps in the home of the descendants of the salesman who owned it. Perhaps the conjurer summoned someone or something from Tamara wearing the mask. I do not know. I found records of many people mentioning the strange spiny masks that they could originally find hideous but grow to adore. It seems that the mask, however it got there, continues so painful beyond the misfortune of others, slowly ruining the life of a person from moving on to another house. It implies that the mask was stolen from the original but slowly made its way back by moving from house to house. It's fascinating. Do not search for a mask. It is still evil regardless of what men say and regardless of what anyone tells you, especially someone wearing a mask with glowing yellow eyes that seem to pierce into your very being.
Yes, Sora?
Hey, you can cheat. Spawn milk to a Jaden. Skin of Rita. It's okay. God and Dwemer Legends Volume 1. This episode is just going to be the book reading episode, isn't it? I researched on Dwemer artifacts. I occasionally found mention of a recurring myth. Dwemer have reportedly had difficulty translating its original sources as are written tongues from the time before man, mer, and beasts. Legends of ancient, beautiful, mythical kingdom can be found in Dwemer texts. They mention a massive war that destroyed the kingdom. The few survivors of war apparently lived with the early Dwemer, some even making specials of them. No known bloodblades are mentioned in the later Dwemer texts. If regarding the kingdom are contradictory, the stories favored by the Dwemer say that the kingdom fell naturally of its own size, with no magical influence. Some more drag stories mention an island falling from the sky, a battle of 1,000 heroes. Many stories mention that a hero was meant to save the kingdom from destruction, but that he did not arrive to change the tide of the war. The fantastical stories mention that at the very end of the war, before the kingdom crumbled entirely, thousands of versions of the legendary hero appeared at different corners of the world. The hordes of monsters and demons were ultimately defeated by them. The versions favored by the Dwemer make no mention of dark beasts or thousand heroes fighting doomed battles. Instead, the war is reframed as long-lasting unrest stemming from pervasive corruption in the royalty of the kingdom. The Dark Army consists of a desert tribe that took residence in the cities, coexisting with temples for decades. According to Dwemer, the kingdom fell slowly and rotted from within. Dwemer used the myth as a parable for political honesty, as the warning that even the largest, most wonderful things must come to an end.
Need something?
Take a Lillian dagger.
Yes.
Look. Read Fallen Woods. woods by Gindu Kick. Where's that in order? When the trees fall in the forest, only those around can hear. On those within the shire groves, doubt are the curses of the springs. Frank and yielding are they. On the nymphs of the forest, left to their onslaught, leaves regrets and scars, stemming for the springs, earning respite only in oblivion. As we pass the keepers and dare to trespass in the woods, men's wits may have been taken by they who reel the minds with pain. In the depth, the call of the springs, silent like calls to the brain, christened to life itself, ingesting the essence of the soul, but the one who once was breathing is ever silent. I don't get how that has to do with anything with Zelda. Oh,
Need
that?
something?
No. I
Yes,
thought it was
Sora?
full dust. Five. Hey, I got another pet. Game. Okay, good. Oh, I think that means that I'm going to call it here.